Okay, we're up. Good evening, good morning. Today, Khushboo and I are going to read Discourse number 6, verses 33 to 47. And this is on meditation and self-control. And so, Slok 33.
Yodaya yoga savaya trotsakaha samyena madhusudana etasyaha na pashyami charja cha latva tisitihi sthirama. Slok 33.
Arjuna said, Killer of Madhu, because of the mind's instability, I don't see the stable foundation of this yoga declared by you with such balance. And Prose says, I do not see how I can attain this state of equanimity which you have revealed, owing to the restlessness of my mind. The Sharma says, Slayer of Madhu, this yoga which has been described by you as sameness, I do not see how it would stay stable due to the restlessness of my mind. And there's a footnote. The practice of viewing all things with sameness, samya, was emphasized in verse 519. Right. So we should. Okay. Verse Slok 34.
Chanchala hi mana Krishna pramathi baladadhama tasyaha nigraha manye vayuriva sudushkarama. Slok 34.
Krishna, the mind is ever straying, troubling, strong and unyielding. I think holding it back is as hard to bring about as holding back the wind. And the prose says, My Lord, verily the mind is fickle and turbulent, obstinate and strong, yea, extremely difficult as the wind to control. The Sharma reads, The mind is truly fickle, O Krishna, churning, strong, and stubborn. I think control of it, like the wind, is very difficult to achieve. Slok 35.
Asashaya Mahabaho Namo Durnigraha Chalama Abhyasena Tu Konteya Vairagyecha Cha Gruhayate. Slok 65.
The Blessed One said, Strong-armed one, the straying mind without doubt is hard to hold back, but by practice and by not engaging passion, it is held back, son of Kunti. The prose says, Doubtless, O mighty one, the mind is fickle and exceedingly difficult to restrain, but O son of Kunti, with practice and renunciation, it can be done. And there's a footnote. Practice Abhyasa and Renunciation by Vairagya are two important aspects of spiritual life. The word renunciation sounds grim, but in fact it means renouncing the smaller for the greater, sweetened milk for ice cream, according to Prabhavananda. Vairagya implies equanimity and dispassion, in which attachment to lower values naturally falls away as one is drawn more powerfully to higher truths. Unless practice is accomplished by an attitude of dispassion, one runs the risk of inflating rather than transcending the ego, while dispassion without practice may lead to confusion and possibly delusion instead of liberation, according to Feuerstein. Sharma reads, O long-armed one, undoubtedly the mind is fickle and very hard to control, but it can be controlled with practice and dispassion, O son of Kunti. And there's a footnote. The importance of regular practice, abhyasa, is mentioned again in verses 6:44, 8:8, 12:9, 12:10, 12:12, and 18:36. And there's a further footnote. The term abhyasa yoga is the yoga of habitual practice, abhyasa, or the discipline, yoga, of practice, abhyasa. Through repetitive effort, the yogin gradually trains the mind in a systematic way. The importance of practice is also mentioned in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 1:12, 13, 18, and 32. Slok 36.
असंयतात्मना योगो दृश्यप्राप इति मे मतिः वश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्योदवा तु मुपायतः. Luke 36.
That is what I think. Yoga is hard to reach for the one whose self is not restrained, but it is possible to reach yoga for one whose self is reined in by striving in skillful ways. The prose reads, it is not possible to attain self-realization if a man does not know how to control himself. But for him who, striving by proper means, learns such control, it is possible. And the Sharma reads, yoga is difficult to attain by one whose mind is not under control. This is my view, but it can be attained by a self-controlled person who perseveres with appropriate practices. Just check one thing here. Okay, Slok 37.
अयतिः श्रद्धयोपेतो योगाच्च लितमानसः अप्राप्य योगं सन् सिद्धित का गति कृष्ण गच्छति. Sloka 37.
One who is not controlled, but who comes with trust, whose mind has strayed from yoga, who has not reached the fulfillment of yoga? What way does that one travel? Krishna. And the prose reads, he who fails to control himself, whose mind falls from spiritual contemplation, who attains not perfection, but retains his faith, what of him, my Lord? And the Sharma reads, what is the status of the undisciplined person who is endowed with faith, but whose mind has strayed from the yogic path without attaining yogic perfection, O Krishna? Slok 38.
Kachino bhaya vibhrashta shichana brahmiva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimutho brahmanaha. Yappi. Slok 38.
Strong-armed one, is that one not lost, like a splintered cloud, fallen from both worlds, without grounding, confused on the path of Brahman? Slok 38. Having failed in both, my Lord, is he without hope, like a riven cloud having no support, lost on the spiritual road? The Sharma reads, fallen from both, bewildered in the path of Brahman, without foundation, does not such a person perish like a cloud that has dispersed, O long-armed one, Krishna? And there's a footnote. The text says fallen from both. Ubaya vibhashta. Commentators differ on what both of these are. If it may mean both material and spiritual accomplishments, Shankara interprets both as referring to the two paths that were referred to at the beginning of this chapter, the paths of yoga and the path of action, which seem to be different from one another, but which were reconciled by Krishna in previous verses. The image of a cloud that has dispersed without giving its promised rain conveys the idea that the yogin has not achieved final perfection. Slok 39.
Etan me sanshayah Krishna chetumah sheshataha tvadanyah sanshayastasya cheta na jupa padhyate. Slok 39.
Krishna, you should cut away this doubt of mine with nothing left. Not one exists other than you who can cut away this doubt. Slok 39. My Lord, you are worthy to solve this doubt once and for all. Besides yourself, there is no one competent to do so. The Sharma reads, O Krishna, may you entirely remove this doubt of mine. No one but you is capable of removing this doubt. Slok 40.
Partha neveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate na hi कल्याण कृत्यस्य च दर्दु गर्वति तात gachati. Slok 40.
The Blessed One said, Son of Pretas, such a person is not destroyed, neither in heaven nor on earth, dear friend. No one who does good travels the hard road. The prose reads, Lord Shri Krishna replied, My beloved child, there is no destruction for him, either in this world or in the next. No evil fate awaits him who treads the path of righteousness. Sharma reads, O son of the Blessed Lord said, O son of Prita, neither in this world nor the world beyond is there occasion for his failure. My dear one, O doer of good never comes to a bad end. O dear, my dear one, a doer of good never comes to a bad end. And there's a footnote. Arjuna's question is about success or failure of spiritual practice in this life. The answer is that there is no complete failure, vinyasa, so long as practice is made. Slok 41.
प्राप्य पुण्य कृता लोकानुषित्वा शाश्वतीः समाः सुचिन्ना श्रीमता गेहे योगभ्रष्टोद भिजायते. Slok 41.
When one has reached the worlds of virtuous action and has dwelt for endless years, one who is lost to yoga is then born again in the home of the pure and illustrious. The prose reads, Then the experience acquired in his former life will revive, and with its, I'm sorry, I'm not reading the right. Not reading the right. We're on 41, correct? Yeah. The prose for verse 41 reads, Having reached the worlds where the righteous dwell, and having remained there for many years, he who has slipped away from the path of spirituality will be born again in the family of the pure, benevolent, and prosperous. The Sharma reads, Having reached the heavenly worlds designated for righteous persons, and after staying there for myriad years, one who has fallen from the yogic path is born into the home of a pure and prosperous family. Slok 42.
अथवा योगी नामेव कुले भवति धीमताम एतद्विद्धि दुर्लभंतर लोके जन्म यदि Slok 42.
If one exists in a family of intelligent practitioners of yoga, a birth like this is surely very hard to reach in this world. The prose reads, Or he may be born in the family of the wise sages, though a birth like this is indeed very difficult to obtain. I'll read that again, I'm sorry. 42. Or he may be born in the family of the wise sages, though a birth like this is indeed very difficult to obtain. And the Sharma reads, or one is born in a family of true yogins, endowed with wisdom. Indeed, such a birth in this world is immensely difficult to attain. Slok 43.
Tatra ta buddhi sayoga labhate paurvadehi kama yatate cha tato bhuyah sanchindado karu nandana. Slok 43.
There in that body, one attains the joining of insight from the previous body, and from there one strives once again toward fulfillment, joy of the kurus. The prose reads, then the experience acquired in his former life will revive, and with its help he will strive for perfection more eagerly than before. The Sharma reads, there one regains union with that same wisdom of the previous embodiment, and then the practitioner strives further towards completion of practices leading to liberation, O descendant of the Kurus. Slok 44.
Sorry, I'm finding it hard to listen to you today.
I'm having it.
Purvabhyasena teneva hriyate harvashodapi saha jignashurapi yogasya shabda brahma tiva tarti. Book 44.
One is carried by the practice of an earlier life, even against one's will. Just the desire to know yoga goes beyond the Brahman of the word. The prose reads, unconsciously he will return to the practices of his old life, so that he who tries to realize spiritual consciousness is certainly superior to one who only talks of it. Sharma reads, by virtue of previous practice, the person is instinctively carried on to continue practicing. One who even desires to know about yoga transcends ritualism. Slok 45.
Prayatna data manasu yogi sanshudya kilipvashaha aneka janma sansiddhyastato yati para gatima. Look 45.
Through great effort and restrained mind, completely purified of evil, and fulfilled through many births, the practitioner of yoga then travels the highest way. The prose reads, then after many lives, the student of spirituality who earnestly strives and whose sins are absolved attains perfection and reaches the supreme. And there's a footnote. earnestly strives, effort, prayatna, is necessary on the spiritual path, although ultimate success depends on the grace of God or the Master. Divine grace is constantly pouring forth. Effort helps one to receive it. Meher Baba likens grace to the rain which falls on all lands, barren and fertile, but fructifies only in the lands that have been rendered fertile through toil. Two schools of thought differ over the question of effort versus grace. Those who exert effort are likened to a baby monkey who holds onto its mother as she swings through the trees, while those who rely solely on the grace are like the baby cat whose mother carries it by the scruff of the neck. In both cases, however, it is the mother, God, who carries the baby aspirant where it needs to go. And the Sharma reads, but striving with sincere effort, completely purified of sin, perfecting himself through several lifetimes, the yogin then attains the supreme goal. Slok 46.
तपस्विभ्यो दधि को योगी ज्ञानी ज्ञानीभ्योदपि मतो दधि कः कर्मिभ्यश्च चाधिको योगी तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन. Slok 46.
The practitioner of yoga surpasses those who practice heated discipline, and also surpasses those who are wise and those who act in ritual. Therefore, Arjuna, be a practitioner of yoga. The prose reads, the wise man is superior to the ascetic and to the scholar and to the man of action. Therefore, be a wise man, O Arjuna. And the footnote reads, wise man here translates yogi, one who practices disciplined activity defined as doing unselfishly whatever action seems to be required in any given circumstance, according to Edgerton. The yogi is contrasted here with the man of action, meaning one who performs religious rituals. And the Sharma reads, a yogin is superior to those who practice austerities, is considered superior even to persons of knowledge, and superior to persons of action. Therefore, become a yogin, O Arjuna. Slok 47.
योगिना मपि सर्वेषा मदगते नन्तारात्मना श्रद्धा वान् यो मा समे युक्त तमो मतः. Slok 47.
Even among all these practitioners of yoga, the one who loves me, who has trust, and who goes to me with the inner self, that one is thought by me the most closely joined to yoga. The prose reads, I look upon him as the best of mystics who, full of faith, worships me and abides in me. The Sharma reads, Moreover, of all yogins, the one who inwardly absorbed in me, endowed with faith, is devoted to me. I consider him to be the best yogin. And it's the footnote says compare Discourse 12, Slope 2. And the colophon reads, here ends the 6th chapter named the Yoga of Meditation. In the Upanishad sung by Lord Krishna, in the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, in the scripture of yoga pertaining to knowledge about Brahman. And so tomorrow we will read
till 12, chapter 7.
what are the verses? To 12?
1 to, yeah.
1 to 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add for today, Khushboo?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay. 1 to 12 in Discourse 7 is about knowledge and experience. Just for your information, that's what's described here.
Here it is described as a act of kindness and which is the essence of God, kind of. That's
A way of thinking of
how I
God.
can translate.
So it's knowledge and experience. Is that Dhyana and the difference between Vijnana and Vigya or something?
Vigyan means science.
Okay, I don't know anything about Sanskrit, so I'm speaking out of turn here.
No. But it's on the similar lines.
Yeah.
And what the other one you
Well, I
said?
think the significant thing about knowledge and experience, which is this discourse number 7 we're coming upon, is the fact that is the difference between logos and eros. In other words, you can know many things, you can learn all the words and so on, but until you've had the experience of actually feeling what God is telling you, you have to have the experience. It's like the simplest way I use to explain it is you can tell a child the stove is hot, but the child doesn't know that the stove is hot until they touch it. Then they know what hot is. And as Les Morgan says in the
but in the same example, in the same example, I will add it that Eros is not so unforgiving as it sounds like. Because for an example, like you have 3-second window. If you take off your hand off the plate in 3 seconds, you won't feel burned. Nothing will happen to your skin.
right.
Because your brain takes 3 minutes time to recognize, 3-second time to recognize it. So it's a balanced union of the arrows and logos. Yeah. It's not a place to go here, but I can if
Okay, well, we can talk about it some more tomorrow because it's actually tomorrow's lesson. But
yeah, we shouldn't. The thing is that when we talk about it, I think it is kind of a masculine way to to look at like arrows one side and logos at the another side. It is very masculine way to, because it's a union of arrows and logos which brings a life ahead, and so we cannot keep talking about them in a separate sense because they won't exist without each other. You see, like
Yeah, they would. That's right. They both will not exist without each other. But in his um, forward, I guess it's, or the editor's introduction, Les Morgan in this book says, the last sentence he says is, "You will not understand the Gita by reading a book. You will only understand the Gita by living it." And that's kind of the point, you know, that you can have all
and
the,
most simplest point actually, because it's impossible for anybody to follow Gita. It takes real courage. It's like it's exactly what when Friedrich Nietzsche um, said that God is dead, and then he continued. He said further things that we have to, whatever we have to do. So it follows that path, that we have to be as moral as divine to be able to get out of it, you know. And but we are merely human
yeah,
asking questions. So
sure.
so it's not it, it's not simple. It was not simple for Gandhi Bapu. So yeah, it's no way no way we can emphasize on the fact, which I think these Western books are not doing, is that it's not as simple as the way it's written in this.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. And we need both, right? We need
No, I
both.
don't want to. What do you mean by both?
Well, both knowledge and experience.
Sure, of course. That's a human thing.
Yeah. It's not well understood, though. People think that if you have a lot of knowledge, that you know what to do with it, right? But without experience, you don't necessarily know what to do with the knowledge. This was Dr. Jung's point as well, I think. You know, he felt quite clearly that um, you can't know anything psychologically without experiencing it yourself, having the experience and knowing what it means to you. Okay, it's one thing to memorize a book; it's quite
Yeah,
another.
but you can take guidance.
Yeah, you can take
But you can
guidance,
take guidance. That's exactly what Krishna is doing,
right? And that's a matter of
right?
belief. When you're taking guidance, you're believing somebody else. But when you know, okay, when you've grokked it, that's you knowing, not, you're not living somebody else's life, you're living your life with me. And so you have to take guidance in order to learn
Yeah,
anything.
probably when there is no love element involved.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
Well, we all have to learn what the ropes are, the skeleton. We have to learn the rules of the road, but we can't drive until we actually drive. It's like your scooter, Khushboo. Um, you know, you could sit before you had your scooter and before you could drive. Um, you could sit and study it, but um, you can't do it until you actually ride it. You actually ride it yourself, right? And
Yeah.
until you actually learn by mistakes what you could do wrong, right? A book isn't going to save you from a car accident, right? But experience might. You with me?
Yeah, but book might teach you to be cautious enough when touching those territories.
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
right.
it's not all black and white. If you
Right.
go
So
into the
belief
book,
is right,
you enter into the gray area.
right, right.
So, see,
Exactly.
Gandhiji said there is no use of truth if there is no love involved at all. And I understand that.
Hmm.
So, if you are if you are reading book out of love, then a lot of things can change for you. If not, then it's just as you said, doorknob.
Yeah, I agree with you. So you and I are
Yeah.
both you and I are both reading the Gita out of right? Love for the wisdom. It's philosophy, philosophy, love of Sophia, wisdom.
Yeah, but I'm very uh, resistant towards associating myself with Hinduism.
Oh
I am
wow.
actually I am actually treating it as just another book,
Yeah,
you
fair
know,
enough. Yeah, that's fine.
because but at the same time I don't like, but I can't do that. Like it's the holy book of mine, so I can't do that as well.
Right, it's
So I get
impossible to do that.
I yeah I get little bit of triggers when people try to conclude it, and I also, while we are going in through this journey, I've realized that how there is no depth in certain certain parts of translation. So, and our structure limits us to
Yeah.
go deep into it, because any scientific mind will do it, you know. Any scientific mind will get unsatisfied with things and will want to explore the depth of things, which I think we have. Yeah, I know where am I going. You know where am I going.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to mute myself because I have a grass cutter outside my window, or a grass blower. I mean, talking about
And,
the shallowness of Americans, we cut our grass and then we use a machine that blows to blow the grass off the sidewalk, and it's very now very loud and intrusive, to say the least. We shouldn't have intrusive uh,
in
lawn
India,
sounds.
it would be really normal thing if there's lot of noise.
Yes, I
so
know. Yeah, okay, I
so
understand.
yeah, and I don't think I even get angry with it. I don't get angry with it.
I'm not angry with it, but it's I did want to mute it so that it wasn't so offensive to our listeners.
No, you said shallow American way, which I object.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it run for a
It's
moment
not so
here.
shallow.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
Okay, then in that case, I'll read our. In that case, I read our lines and we can end the session for today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Within infinite myths lies an eternal truth. Who sees it all? Varuna has but 1,000 eyes. Indra, hundreds. You and I, only two.
Only two.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Peace. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.